okay is sometimes the best we can do. We cannot always be happy, and that is perfectly fine. Happiness is a passing emotion, but being okay is a state of being that can be maintained. We may not have everything we desire, but we have enough to get by each day. So let us take solace in knowing that being okay is sufficient, and that it is acceptable not to be happy all of the time. Life is full of ups and downs, but as long as we're healthy, we can face whatever life throws at us with strength and resilience. Sometimes the pain we carry within us feels so intense that it threatens to consume us. We want to scream, cry, and lash out, but we know that doing so would be seen as weakness. So we swallow it down, burying it deep within our hearts where no one else can see it. We pretend that everything is okay, even when it's not, because we don't want to burden others with our struggles. Even as we smile and laugh, the pain lingers, reminding us that sometimes the strongest thing we can do is keep our pain to ourselves. Sometimes the pain. Goodbye is a word that brings a heavy heart and a lump to the throat. It's a reminder that things must come to an end, and that the people and moments we cherish will one day slip away from us. But even when we know goodbye is inevitable, we're never truly ready for it. We cling to the hope that somehow, someway, we'll find a way to keep those we love close to us forever. And though we may not always succeed, we keep trying, because the thought of letting go is simply too much to bear. Goodbye is a...
Do you have female best friends?
Kind of, yeah.
Are they female best friends that you've penetrated first and now they're your
my female best friends
friends
are like my sisters.
No, I'm going to ask you again. Are they female friends that you've penetrated first and you're going to introduce them? Oh, this is my friend. No, I ain't got time for that. Are they actually your friends?
No, they're my actual friends.
So you guys haven't tried to dibble and dabble here and there on a drunk night out?
No.
You don't find any of them attractive? They don't find any of
Like
you
I said, my best friends are
attractive?
like my sisters.
Okay.
If it's not that thing, they're not your best friend.
Exactly, that's why I had to ask.
What about you? Do you have any male best friends?
I do. I have one male best friend. Who's
And nothing's ever happened?
No, he's the godfather to my daughter.
Okay.
We're very close. And yeah, if you're going to be a part of my life, you'd have to get on with him because he's part of my life.
I hear that. That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that.
Do you have female?
You can't make someone like you, and you can't make someone love you. Appreciation and love are natural emotions that must flow from the heart. Instead of trying to make someone like you, concentrate on being true to yourself and living your life with purpose and passion. People will be drawn to your genuineness and the value you bring to the world. Remember that you are enough, and the right people will love you for who you are rather than what you try to be. Never give up, because that is exactly where and when the tide will turn. When life gets difficult, it's easy to lose hope and abandon our dreams. However, it is important to remember that success frequently necessitates perseverance, resilience, and a willingness to persevere in the face of adversity. When faced with a challenge, we have the option of either succumbing to it or rising above it. Don't let temporary setbacks discourage you from pursuing your dreams. Continue to push forward, stay focused on your vision, and have faith in yourself. Your perseverance and determination will be rewarded in the end. Self-care is not a luxury. It is a requirement. It is about accepting responsibility for your own well-being and making decisions that are in line with your needs. You can better manage stress, increase resilience, and improve overall health and happiness by prioritizing self-care. Self-care is an important part of living a healthy lifestyle, whether it's going for a walk, practicing mindfulness, or simply saying no to things that drain your energy. Remember that you cannot pour from an empty cup, so take care of yourself first, and everything else will follow. Don't put off practicing self-care until you have permission or a special occasion. Every day is a new chance to feed your mind, body, and soul. Self-care. Red flag relationships are defined by behaviors or patterns that indicate the possibility of danger or harm in a romantic relationship. These behaviors can range from subtle signs of control and manipulation to more overt forms of abuse, such as physical violence or emotional abuse. such as physical violence or emotional abuse. It is critical to identify and address these red flags early in a relationship because they can escalate over time and lead to serious harm or even death. Possession, jealousy, isolation from friends and family, controlling behavior, disrespect, dishonesty, aggression, and a lack of communication or empathy are all red flags. Ignoring red flags in a relationship can have serious consequences, including jeopardizing your safety and well-being. Fake friends are like shadows. They follow you in the sunlight but abandon you in the dark. They are the ones who only appear when it is convenient for them and then vanish when you need them the most. They smile in your face but gossip about you behind your back. They act as if they care, but their actions speak louder than words. These friends sap your energy, bring negativity into your life, and exploit your kindness. They are toxic and unhealthy, and it is preferable to have no friends than fake ones. True friends are truthful, loyal, and supportive, and they bring joy and optimism into your life. They support you in good times and bad, and they accept you for who you are. Patience is more than just the ability to wait. It is also the ability to maintain a positive attitude and a focused mindset while dealing with a difficult situation. It takes a deep understanding to realize that everything happens at its own pace and in its own way. Patience is the acceptance that we do not have complete control over everything, and that some things will unfold at their own pace. It is a powerful tool for cultivating a sense of calm and inner peace in the face of uncertainty and difficulty. Patience also allows us to see the big picture and recognize that setbacks and obstacles are only temporary and that with perseverance and determination, we can overcome them. It teaches us to be gentle with ourselves and others, and to trust that the universe has bigger plans for us than we could have imagined. Patience is a rare and precious quality that can bring us closer to true fulfillment and happiness in a world that constantly pushes us to be faster and more efficient. Patience is more. Life is frequently viewed as a game of chance, with luck playing a significant role in determining success. However, the truth is that life is not about chance. It is about hard work. Success does not come to us on a silver platter. We must earn it through hard work, perseverance, and determination. Those who achieve greatness in life are not simply the fortunate ones who happen to be successful. They are the ones who work tirelessly towards their goals, often in the face of adversity and setbacks. They were able to overcome obstacles, learn from their mistakes, and ultimately succeed because of their hard work. So, if you want to live a fulfilling and successful life, don't rely on chance. Instead, roll up your sleeves, focus on your objectives, and work hard to achieve them. Success is within your grasp if you persevere and work hard. It's good to be alone from time to time, because solitude allows us to reflect on our thoughts, nurture our creativity, and connect with our innermost selves. Being alone does not have to be a lonely experience, but rather an opportunity to enjoy one's own company. We can rediscover our passions, explore new ideas, and gain a deeper understanding of our own values and beliefs when we are alone. We can also find space to heal from past wounds and find new strength to face the challenges ahead. It is critical to remember that being alone does not require us to isolate ourselves from others. Rather, it can be a time to strengthen bonds with those who are important to us and to recognize the value of true companionship. So take some time today to enjoy the peace and quiet of your own company. You might be surprised by the discoveries and insights you gain. Depression is a complex and frequently incapacitating mental illness that affects millions of people around the world. It is a persistent and overwhelming sense of sadness, hopelessness, and despair that can interfere with daily life. Depression can strike anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background, and it is not a sign of weakness or a flaw in oneself. People suffering from depression frequently feel isolated, helpless, and alone, and they may struggle to find motivation to seek help. Depression, on the other hand, can be managed and overcome with the right treatment.
How would your ex describe you?
I'd probably say very chilled.
So call her now.
Call her now.
Call her now and ask her.
Well, we're both kind of blocked, so that's.
Oh, so you're very chilled, but you're both kind of blocked. There's a story here.
Well, how we both look at it is once you're out of the relationship, it's just kind of, it's done.
So you block each other.
Yeah, because what's there to talk about? We're not getting back together.
But why is there a need to block each other? Is that petty?
Are you still friends with your ex?
Yeah, and we're
Okay.
cool. Some of us.
But would you say you're friends?
We don't need to speak all the time, but we don't have each other blocked. If I saw him, it's
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, no, I feel the same. If I saw her, it's love, but like I don't need to continuously talk to her.
How would your ex describe?
Trusting the process necessitates believing in the journey even if the destination is unknown. It entails believing in the power of hard work and perseverance, as well as viewing challenges as opportunities for growth and learning. When we trust the process, we release our need for control and surrender to the natural flow of life. We learn to be at peace in the present moment, knowing that each step we take brings us closer to our ultimate goals. However, trusting the process does not imply blind faith. It requires us to remain committed to our vision, focused on the tasks at hand, and true to ourselves and our values. So, even if the road ahead appears uncertain, let us trust the process. Let us have the courage to act boldly and decisively. Friends who betray and deceive us are akin to snakes in the grass. They may slither alongside us, posing as loyal companions, but they eventually strike with venomous fangs, leaving us wounded and vulnerable. We must accept that, as much as we loved and trusted them, their true nature has been revealed, and we cannot afford to ignore the warning signs. However, as we grieve the loss of what we thought were true friendships, we must also remember that not all snakes are dangerous. In fact, some are completely safe and even beneficial to us. The key is to learn to distinguish between the two and to be vigilant in protecting ourselves from those who wish to harm us. Finally, we must choose our friends carefully, aware that the company we keep has a significant impact on our lives. And when we come across those rare and precious souls who truly want what is best for us, we must cherish them and never take their loyalty for granted. Returning to an ex-partner can be a tempting thought, but it's important to consider why the relationship ended in the first place. It is critical to reflect on the reasons for the breakup and determine whether or not the underlying issues have been resolved. If the issues that caused the breakup are not resolved, the relationship is unlikely to work out the second time around. It's also important to consider whether both partners are genuinely committed to making the relationship work and are willing to put in the effort necessary to resolve any previous issues. It may be best to avoid getting back together if either partner is not fully committed or has reservations about the relationship. Returning to an ex-partner, do not pursue someone who does not want you. It's like attempting to catch a bird that refuses to be caught. No matter how hard you try, it will always fly away. Pursuing someone who is uninterested in you will only result in heartbreak and disappointment. You deserve someone who appreciates and cherishes you for who you are, not someone who sees you as a backup plan or an option. Remember that you are deserving of love and respect, and there is no need to pursue someone who does not see that in you. Concentrate on loving and appreciating yourself, and the right person will enter your life at the right time. Don't waste your time and energy on someone who does not recognize your value. Do not.
What's your best quality?
Best quality, my laugh.
Your laugh.
Yeah.
Laugh for me.
That's your
The old saying, nice guys finish last, implies that people who are kind and compassionate are frequently overlooked or taken advantage of in competitive environments. While the phrase may be discouraging to those who believe in the power of empathy and kindness, it is important to remember that success is not always defined by winning at all costs. Genuine kindness and respect for others can have long-term consequences for relationships and personal fulfillment. Individuals who prioritize the well-being of those around them over personal gain may find that their actions lead to a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Finally, being a nice guy may not always result in immediate success. The old saying, although blood is thicker than water, the bond we share with our chosen family can be stronger than our biological family. True friends have a way of turning into the family we didn't realize we needed. They provide us with unconditional love, support, and understanding, and they are there for us in good times and bad. We share life's joys and sorrows with friends, create lasting memories, and lay a foundation of trust and loyalty that can withstand any challenge. While we may not have chosen our families, we can choose who we surround ourselves with. And when we find those special people who become our chosen family, we know we've been given a treasure more valuable than gold. Although trust is the foundation of all successful relationships, it is the glue that holds people together and allows them to communicate, collaborate, and work towards common goals. Trust is earned through consistent actions and behaviors demonstrating integrity, dependability, and accountability. It is a fragile yet powerful force that can be easily broken by a single act of betrayal, but it can also be strengthened by open communication and vulnerability. Relationships without trust are shallow and transactional, lacking the depth and richness that come with true connection. Trust necessitates bravery, vulnerability, and the willingness to take risks. It necessitates that we be honest with ourselves and others, listen with an open mind and heart, and take responsibility for our actions. Trust there will always be ups and downs, turns, and unexpected surprises along the way in life. It is a process that is always changing and that may simultaneously be difficult, thrilling, and satisfying. We encounter challenges and hardships from time to time that seem insurmountable since life is not always fair. Nonetheless, it's critical to keep in mind that every obstacle presents a chance for development and education. Connections and relationships are important aspects of life. Positive or negative encounters with other people might influence our identity and worldview. As social creatures, one of the most essential aspects of our life is our desire for affiliation and connection. Generally speaking, life is a priceless gift that should be loved and admired.
One principle that I hold dear is loyalty. It enables me to trust the people in my life and maintains the health of my relationships. Others had violated my confidence in the past, and each time I felt crushed and abandoned as a result. On the other hand, I've also experienced times when individuals have exhibited unflinching commitment and support towards me, and such experiences rank among the most significant in my life. We remain grounded and are reminded of our interconnectedness with others because to our loyalty. It demonstrates that we respect our relationship enough to put it ahead of our personal needs and that we are prepared to support one another no matter what. Relationships wouldn't exist without loyalty.
How many children do you want? How many babies do you want? Because I want a big family.
I only want 2.
You only want 2?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
I don't know how you put up with me for so many years.
I didn't put up with you, Bojack. I liked being with you, and I don't regret it. Did you ever love me at all?
I'm not... You know that I don't do the whole love thing. Either you end up hurting someone or they hurt you, so what's the point? I don't know how you put...
Your Honor, my client...
I don't know how you put up with me for...
Your Honor, my client knows that he's made a mistake. He's sorry for what he's done, and he has learned from the experience.
Do you regret what you've done, Carl?
I did something really dumb.
Why is my controller sticky?
Mr. Herring!
Hey! What do you want?
Angry because I realized like most people never even give themselves 10 freaking minutes to suspend disbelief, to let themselves get in the state of where anything is possible. Most people start to write, well, I would like a big house. Oh, come on, be realistic, dude. We have this inner child that wants to write like, I'd like to make $1 million. And the adult in us is like, you and everyone else, dude. I'd like to be in the best shape of my life. Dude, you're 45. You're so hard on yourself. And if you can't give yourself permission, take my permission. Step 1, get a journal. Step 2, open up a blank page. Step 3, set a timer on your iPhone for 10 minutes. Step 4, let your imagination run completely wild. Who is this dream character, this 2.0 version of you? Don't censor yourself. I want you to list out at least 5 things that 2.0 you has, does, feels, says, is. And if this don't get you excited, I don't know what will. It's getting angry because here's a rule that'll make you more confident by the end of this video. Philosopher Alan Watts calls this the backwards law. The more you try, the further away you are. Example, the more you try to float, the more you sink. In dating, the more you chase after someone, the more it repels them away because they sense the neediness. In money, the more you stress and think about not having money, the more it puts you in that poverty mindset of scarcity. Do you know what the real root word of confidence is? It means intense trust. Intense trust in yourself, your abilities. You're a badass. You can do it. And when you're really confident, you start letting go of the need to control things. So the secret to more confidence, stop trying, start trusting. Trust yourself and watch the confidence start to flood in. Here's a rule. I've read over 300 books. Here are the top 10 that I've deep dived into and studied immensely. Number 10, Osho, Love, Freedom, and Aloneness. Number 9, Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. Number 8, Dale Carnegie, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Number 7, Jonathan Haidt's The Happiness Hypothesis. Number 6, The Way of the Superior Man by David Dieta. Michael Singer, The Surrender Experiment. Dr. Joe Dispenza, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. The Essential Writings of Ralph Waldo Emerson. Walter Isaacson's biography on Steve Jobs, and Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. I've read over. Here's a shadow work technique that completely changed my life. It's literally like a month of therapy with one exercise. Step number 1, identify it. You're going to think of something that's holding you back. These could be about an ex, these could be about your childhood, these could be about getting fired from a job. Step number 2, invite it. Picture that old version of you struggling with that and invite it in to have a conversation. Step number 3, talk to it. You're going to engage in a dialogue with that old past version of you struggling with that thing. You might ask some questions. Why are you doing this? Why do you believe this? Step number 4 is to acknowledge it. You're literally just listening empathetically to that part of you vent. Step number 5, this is the most important part, is you're going to integrate it. Give that past self everything it didn't get but needed in that moment. Support, encouragement, positive reframe, different way of looking at it. Try that exercise and give the old version of yourself all the resources that you have in this current version. One of the most underrated hacks to change everything in your life is to literally change where you are. Change your environment. I spent 28 years living in Seattle, and no matter how much I worked on myself, I still felt there was people, places, things, memories there that were holding me back from getting to the next level. I would drive around and see the same streets and associate all these memories with them. There's where I had my first date in high school. There's my gym of 10 years. There's where I got in trouble as a punk middle schooler, and it made it really hard to transform into a new person until I did an experiment. My girlfriend and I decided we had nothing to lose. Let's buy a one-way ticket to Scottsdale, Arizona. We moved, we picked up, and we left. Within 12 months of being here, I 4x'd my business, became the happiest I've ever been, started really living the life of my dreams. It was because I didn't have all that mental energy and that bandwidth being stuck literally in the past. And look, I'm aware some of you can't just pick up and move to a new city. So maybe it's as simple as just changing apartments. Or if you can't do that, at least change up your room, gut it and redesign it. What you're gonna find is when you change your environment, it's gonna change your thoughts. There's your motivation to take action. Do with it what you will. One of the morning routine as a millionaire. Step number 1, wake up. Ideally the same time every day, 7 days a week without an alarm clock. Step number 2, caffeine and letting my dog out. Step number 3, you're gonna list the 3 to 5 things that are making you the most anxious. Step number 4, looking at your 3 to 5 items, ask yourself, if this were the only thing I did today, would I be satisfied with my day? This focuses your attention onto what really matters. Step number 5, you're going to block out 2 to 3 hours to focus on one of those things. Remember that there's a huge difference between being busy and being productive. Morning routine as a millionaire. Step number 1, wake up. Ideally the same time every day. Resting bitch face. You ever heard that term? I'll show you. Look, this is me literally completely relaxed and focused. Versus if I have just a slight smile on. What's the difference? Smiling. That's how you cure the RBF. Some people will argue with this, like, why am I gonna smile when I'm not actually happy? I'm not saying be a fake person. I'm not saying like smile and laugh like you're live in the suburbs and someone's coming over for cheese board and wine night. But what I am saying is put some effort into it. Effort goes a long way. So if you don't like the social interactions you're having right now, if you want them to be better, you're gonna have to change things. So put some damn effort into it and smile. Resting bitch face. You ever heard that term? I'll show you. Look, this is me literally completely relaxed and focused. Versus if I have just a slight smile on. What's the difference? Smiling. That's how you cure the RBF. You do these 4 things and people will get addicted to you and your vibe. First up, say their name. People love their names. Dale Carnegie says it's the sweetest sound in any language. One tip, say their name 3 times in the first 3 minutes so you remember it. Number 2, instead of trying to be interesting in conversations, become interested. When you just ask people questions about what they're passionate about, their interests, their wants, they will walk away with, man, there's something about that guy. That girl is awesome. She listened, which leads us into our third point. Find the hidden passion of everyone you're talking to. Everyone's got that one topic that they can just go off on. Sports, is it business? Is it self-improvement? Is it psychology? Is it conspiracy theories? If they like the topic, they like talking about it, the natural conclusion is they like you too. Lastly, don't forget to smile. It might feel fake at first if you're not used to putting on a slight smile. This is me without a smile, totally normal, nothing is wrong. Here's me with just a slight smile, seems more warm, more approachable. You use these 3 simple communication skills and people are gonna love your vibe. First one is to slow down. The average communication speed in conversational English, around 150 words a minute. A really fun exercise you can do that helped me significantly, record a 5-minute voice memo. Take how many words that is, divide it by 5, and that is your words per minute. By slowing down, you're giving yourself time to think and formulate better thoughts. Number 2, presence. A mistake people make is they're not actually listening when they're in a conversation with someone, they're just waiting for their turn to speak. It's sad how rarely we get full attention from someone. If you can give that to other people, they will become addicted to you. Number 3, asking questions. A common mistake people make is being the one-upper. Example, you tell your friend that you got a new job and you're really excited. Now what if they turned around and said, wow, that's cool, my sister just got one too. You don't feel acknowledged. You're like, wait, something really cool happened and okay, good for your sister. You use these. Here are 3 simple mindset habits that will change your life. Tip number 1, psychologists say that your brain has a negativity sway bias. We picture going up to someone and them throwing a drink in our face, reaching out to a friend and them ghosting us, going for a job interview and getting laughed out of the room. One habit you need to adopt is flipping the script. Catch yourself seeing things going wrong and try to actively see it going right. Which leads us into number 2. If you find yourself in a negative headspace, catching yourself having a negative thought is a positive act, not a negative one. So don't beat yourself up that you have negative thoughts. Start congratulating yourself that you're catching yourself and becoming aware that you do. Number 3, there's 2 kinds of people in the world. The first kind, they need tightening up. They're too crazy. They're too all over the place. They're partying way too much. Then there's a second type of person, the kinds that need loosening up. How can I make this fun? That is a question I always come back to and has served me very well. Here are 3 simple. Everything in life compounds. The real effects of drinking don't really happen the first time you do it, but it's a decade later, 2 decades later, compounded. Likewise, the effects of being antisocial and isolating yourself, you won't see, but 10, 20, 30 years down the road, you will. How's that for an uplifting video? The good news is the positive in your life also compounds. Habits, relationships, self-growth that you do. The real results of you investing in your family, your close relationships, you start to see as you build relationships with people, they get better. 5 years down the road, you got some real cool people around you. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. So what's the point of self-improvement anyway? You start to link concepts and it causes you to think differently. If you're able to think differently, you have the potential to act differently. And if you act differently, you have different results start showing up in your life. And before you know it, what's in here actually changes what's out there. If you're changing enough out there, eventually you compound that out and your life will look pretty darn different. Everything in life I have a question, and there's no judgment here. If you really took your life the last 90 days and you were doing that for the next 5 years, would you be satisfied? Would you end up in the spot you wanted to be? And if the answer is no, unless you stop that momentum, what's going to change? Most people, if you look at how they're operating through life, they're sort of sleepwalking through it. They don't really stop and pause and say, wait, did I actually choose this life or was it chosen for me? See, if you really want to change your life, reinvent yourself. What that's really saying is I want to change the momentum. I want to change the direction so I'm not just floating mindlessly through space. I want to metaphorically take my own fire extinguisher and just give it a little nudge. Sometimes that's all it takes to nudge you in a different direction. I have a question, and there's no judgment here. If you really took your life the last 90 days and you were doing that for the next 5 years, would you be satisfied? Would you end up in the spot you wanted to be? And if the answer is no, unless you stop that momentum. Here's exactly how you can achieve anything. The year is 1906. Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto was out in his garden. He noticed. Here's exactly how you can achieve anything. The year is 1906. Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto was out in his garden. He noticed a trend. 20% of his peas were producing 80% of his crop. He looked at the economy and found this distribution everywhere. This rule is better known as the 80-20 principle. Example, 20% of your friends probably give you 80% of the happiness. 20% of your clothes are getting 80% of the wear. It doesn't have to be 20-80 or 80-20. It can be 70-30, 60-40. The pattern is still there. Once you're able to identify what the 20% of your tasks are, you can double down and get insane productivity. The problem is that most people don't understand the difference between being busy and being productive. So they work for 8 hours, but if we're brutally honest, that 8-hour workday could probably be done in 2. Try and identify your 20% and go all in on that. Here's exactly how you can. The best relationship advice I ever received was stop trying to look for the right person and start trying to become the right person. 10s attract 10s. If we're a level 4 right now and we want a level 10 relationship, well, there's a mismatch there. So you have to level yourself up. Maybe this is getting in the best shape of your life. Maybe this is throwing some money at your appearance, getting better clothes, fixing your teeth. Maybe you channel it into improving your emotional state. Pick up the hobbies that you always wanted to do. Take that trip you've been putting off. This is your chance to do just that. The best relationship. These 3 questions will change your life. What felt important to me 5 years ago that no longer does? Changing your mind is not weakness, it's a sign of growth. What would I do if I was fearless and I could not fail? This question gets you to think bigger, and it reframes your thinking into what could happen instead of just what's realistic. What advice would I give someone else in my exact same situation? You ever notice that it's so easy to give other people advice? Friends, family, coworkers? It's because you're looking at the objective reality, not your subjective experience. Answer those questions in your journal, your phone, record a voice memo, whatever works. These 3 questions. Say this affirmation to yourself every single day for the next 21 days and watch how you stop caring what other people think. I am totally independent of the good or bad opinions of others. Write that down, say it in the mirror, record it in your iPhone and listen to it on loop as you're falling asleep. Whatever you have to do to believe that and feel that at your core, this will help you care less about being liked and care more about being true to yourself. After all, that's what true confidence is. Say this affirmation to yourself every single day for the next 21 days and watch how you stop caring what other people think. I am totally independent of the good or bad opinions of others. Write that down. You ever had a really awkward interaction and then find yourself later beating yourself up for it? It actually has a name, negative brooding. Sounds like a bad metal band. If left untouched, it can often lead to low self-esteem, anxiety, and even clinical depression. After all, some people say depression is living in the past and anxiety is living in the future. Example, you go on a first date, you said something stupid. Later that night, you're just in your own head, replaying it over and over and over again, watching yourself fail. That's exactly what this is. Like quicksand, the more you think about it, the worse you feel, unless you actively catch it and shift into action mode. You need to ask yourself, is there honestly anything I can do about that joke I made on the awkward date? And if the answer is no, then as hard as it is, you have to let it go. Otherwise, it's gonna self-sabotage you. You're gonna create this narrative in your head that they don't wanna talk to you because you messed up. You go on another date with someone and now that's playing in the background, kills your whole vibe. You have 2 options. You can take action or let it go, but you can't stay stuck in the brooding. You do this one thing and people will get addicted to you and your vibe. 3 words, say their name. Your name is the thing unique to you that you've been called your entire life. Your whole identity is associated with it. When people use your name, you respond more. It's engaging. Here's a practical tip on how to do it. Say someone's name 3 times in the first 3 minutes of meeting them. Hey, what's up? John? Nice to meet you, John. So what do you like to do for fun, John? Obviously spread over 3 minutes, otherwise it's creepy, too much, too fast, too soon. Another tip, don't overdo this, otherwise it works against you, comes off as a bit creepy. But if all you did is get in the habit of saying people's names a bit more than you already do, that's gonna get people to like you and your social interactions are definitely gonna be better. You want to stop caring what other people think of you. Here's how. Why do you care so much? Boiled down into one sentence, you care more about being liked than being true. This can also be labeled people pleasing. This is wrong for 2 reasons. The first, people pleasing is an over attachment to other people's opinions of you. This works against you in that you feel good if they validate you, but you feel crushed if they don't. And in a world with almost 8 billion people, what are the chances that everyone's gonna approve of you? 0. Tell yourself this phrase in the mirror until you believe it's true. I'm totally independent of the good or bad opinions of others. Here's the thing. If you're attached to the good opinions of them, you're also crushed by the bad ones. You have value as a person regardless of anyone thinks, just for existing. True confidence comes from when you validate yourself. The goal isn't always more self-confidence, but more self-acceptance. You want to stop? You must stop doing these 7 communication habits if you want people to like you. Communication expert Julian Treasure calls these the 7 deadly sins of speaking. Number 1, gossip, specifically about people you both know but aren't there. It communicates that you do the same about them when they're not there. Number 2, judging. It's hard to be real with someone when you feel like they're disapproving. Number 3, negativity. Be the person that others walk away from feeling energized, not drained. Number 4, complaining. Like fast food, feels great in the moment, but it's bad for you in the long term. Number 5, excuses. Isn't it hard to be around people over and over who don't take responsibility for anything? Number 6, exaggeration. This causes people to break trust with you, especially if they were there with the thing you're exaggerating on. Dude, it wasn't 120 miles an hour, it was only 60. It wasn't $200, it was 40. Number 7, dogmatism. This is where you're confusing facts and opinions. Your way or the highway. This is the only one truth. So remember, you must